Hello and welcome to today's video, and today we are going to be looking at the 1 year overview of the E92 M3 because it has been a year, actually a year and a month almost since I've got the M3, but there's a thing we have to do first. 2,000 subscribers, 2,133 as of now to be exact. Huge number. So I would really like to thank you all for subscribing, joining the journey and giving me the chance. And to tell you the truth, we are about 140 hours from having this channel monetized. It's going to be nothing at the start. Maybe we can build something from it so I can hopefully bring you more content. Still plenty of things I want to do to the M3. It is not going anywhere, and again, like huge thanks to everybody for giving me a chance. I've actually had 2 or 3 YouTube attempts before and it didn't really go anywhere, and to be honest, if this was not to go anywhere, I already feel accomplished. Like the things that I'm doing now, there are cars going up and down. Back in the day I wouldn't be able to do that, so I mean this so far gave me so much confidence. And again, if this was not to progress any further, I'm still happy with where I got. I'm happy with all the people that I've met. A lot of them became my friends through social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube. So again, huge thanks to you for sticking around. So now back to the 1 year ownership experience, costs and everything of the M3. Now, how we're gonna do this, I'm gonna tell you the costs of maintenance for this year. We're gonna go over the experience, and also I've asked you some questions on Instagram, which I am going to, I guess, answer. So again, if you are going to want to participate in one of those videos, feel free to follow me on my Instagram. So M3 looking as good as always, even though it's dirty. Now, what I want you to do is to drop a comment down below saying how much you think the maintenance was. Now, I want to highlight and I want to underline that this M3, it was kept really well. I know what I was getting. I know what I was looking for because I had about 7 years of non-practical experience with this car. So I essentially knew what I was getting, and I knew that this is going to be a good, I guess, purchase. You're gonna see by the numbers. Now, in the E92 M3, I had 4 oil changes so far. One is coming up, like literally right now. I'm gonna be purchasing some oil. That came out to be €170 or USD. They're very close together. Times 4, which is 680. Now, I had to rebuild my steering rack. I didn't have to do it. There was a slight leak on the left side of the steering rack. Again, I wasn't really losing any fluid, but again, like I'm just looking to have this car up to like the best quality possible. That has cost me around €700. Now, I had to also order a hydraulic hose, which was €320, and I still haven't put that hydraulic hose on. Again, the hydraulic hose isn't leaking, but you can see slight dampness around where the, I guess, metal clamp goes. Again, not a big deal. I'm not sure when I'm going to replace it, but there is not really a big need to replace it, but whenever it will break, I'll be there for it, to fix it obviously. Now, the guibo and the center support bearing, I've done that like 6 months ago. I've done it myself. It was only around €240. Again, not really expensive for this car. And all of this, which was actually my total maintenance, came out to be €1,940, which again, for this car, I really don't think it's much. Now, there are slightly bigger expenses. Insurance. How much do you think the insurance was for this car? Any guesses? A fully decked out insurance for this car cost me €3,000. Maybe a bit over €3,000, but in around €3,000. Take it as you will. Now, in terms of the fuel economy, that's a different story. It takes about 100 and I want to say €10-15, depending on obviously the price of the fuel. I use the Ron 95, which is a higher octane fuel. That gets me about 430 to 460 kilometers, depending on the drive style. And I've done about 18,000 kilometers. I'm not going to do the maths on this because I, to be honest, don't really want to cry, because that is a bit of money. I don't even have to count to know this. And so those have been the total costs of owning the M3 for the year. again, if it wasn't for the insurance, if it wasn't for the fuel, now I'm gonna get back to the fuel, because fuel is actually not that bad for a high revving naturally aspirated V8. It actually wouldn't be that bad. Again, I knew what I was getting, and I might actually make a video on, I guess, a purchase guide of this M3, which would be very closely related to getting any other car really. But yeah, this car proved to be an extremely good purchase for me, and I'm going to talk about it some more. Now, 2 cameras right there, hopefully for a better video, but let's turn to the radio. I'm not sure if I've told you already, but oh, the lovely sound. I've tried recording this yesterday and didn't really work out. Too many cars on the road, so it is Saturday. I want to get this video out tomorrow. We have our potion of life. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Sun is out, so hopefully it's not gonna blow out the actual footage. Actually, I've already finished recording a video. I'm probably going to put this before the actual drive itself. Now, if you are the type of person that's maybe my age or is older and you're kind of frustrated about not being able to have an M3 now, or you see all of those like younger kids that have all of those nicer cars, you know, social media made things easier to share, don't get caught up on it. If you really want it, you can get it. Like, keep in mind that when you realize that it's only you against yourself, everything is just going to become so much more, I guess, calm, and you're going to be feeling better because you're going to be seeing the progress and comparing it against yourself rather than against people that are around you. So if you can progress every day and kind of look back that you're making progress towards your goals, this is going to make you feel better. Like, again, just because you don't have an M3, don't be thinking that you can't really make the best out of your day. It took me a while to realize this, but once I've actually realized this, like, every single day became so much better. Even when not having the M3, I was able to, you know, do stuff I enjoy without, you know, thinking about me not doing something, for example, productive, or thinking how I could get to this right here. And since I've changed that mindset, it actually allowed me to get this car not long after I did. So it's not something that you'll probably understand right away, but the more you actually think about it and hear it, the more you will be closer to understanding it. So best of luck with getting your M3 if you are going to want to get one, or any other car for this matter. Let's drop the windows down a little to enjoy our exhaust, and let's talk about the driving experience. I have a very interesting point which I want to bring up, and I don't see people talk about it. Let's get that M mode on. Sounds as good as ever. Now, I won't be referring to the manual versus DCT. I've already made a video on manuals. I have access to DCT. So I'm gonna make a DCT versus manual video in the future. I wanna give DCT a fair chance. Now, I bought this car, as I've mentioned, in a very good shape. Mechanically, visually, everything is pretty much just immaculate. It's a double-edged sword. Let me explain. There are houses around, so let's be respectful. Now, getting a car in a pristine condition obviously allows you to have a car in a pristine condition. But every single scratch, everything that kind of breaks on the car that you need to replace, leaving the car behind in like a parking lot and being afraid that somebody's gonna ding your doors or something worse might happen, it's something that not many people consider when getting those cars. Maybe for what you're looking for, you would be okay with a mechanically sound car, but looks-wise, interior-wise, you don't really care as much, because let's say you are looking to throw the car around. For me, I was looking for a low mileage, best condition M3 I could find that would match the spec that I want, because I want to keep this car for a longer time. But leaving this car behind in a parking lot, it doesn't give me that sense of calmness whenever I, for example, walk around stores. So I would consider this if I was you, because again, like, I can't really get too rowdy in this car. because it just hurts. Like, it genuinely just hurts. So if I would want to throw this car around, I would probably get a different M3, because again, like, I don't know how much money I would need to have in order to not really care about the condition of this car. But yeah, having a pristine condition car also makes you worry, think, and I think spend more, because again, you're trying to upkeep that pristine condition of the car. So maybe it's something to think about if you are going to be considering getting the M3. Let's turn the valves back on. Ooh, that's better. It is still quite slippery, and to be honest, the reason why I'm making this video now, because I wasn't planning on taking out my M3, was purely because 2,000 subscribers plus 2,133, as I've said before. I bought this car for my birthday. My birthday is coming up this week. Everything kind of aligned, so I thought that this would be the perfect time to make this video. I'll keep going through the experiences, and after experiences I'll tell you what situation I was when getting the M3, because it was far from ideal and it turned out to be ideal, and a few other little bits of information that I guess might help you decide to get one. So now, E92 M3 on the daily. Now, the car is agile, the car is fast, the car is comfortable, the car is spacious. Now, not the E92 M3, but my 335. I've been to IKEA so many times and I fit so much shit there that it's honestly unbelievable. E92 M3, not even E90 M3, but E92 M3 is a very, very spacious car. And I think that for a daily 4-liter high revving, naturally aspirated V8 is actually quite decent. Let me explain. My current, I guess, liters per 100 kilometers is 13.2 per 100 kilometers. My friend's Camaro, it is a 6.2 liter in fact, but my friend's automatic Camaro, that has about 19 liters, over 19 liters. So I think that for a V8, comparing it to some other V8s, this is a relatively sound car when it comes to fuel. Now obviously you can put octane that is lower than the 98 RON 98 which I use, and you could still probably get by, but again, like, I want to keep this car in the best condition possible, so I'm gonna kind of give it the best fuel that I can. Now, in terms of fuel, if you're planning to get a DCT, your fuel consumption rate with that additional 7th gear in DCT, it is going to make your miles per gallon significantly lower compared to manual. Now, the lowest I was able to get this car was like 12.2. Getting a bit slidey. Now, it is again cold. I was not meant to bring this M3 out today or even for a longer time, but the conditions were just ideal for this video. Now, going back to talking about the daily, driving this car on the daily, it is going to brighten up your day a lot, but it can get quite exhausting. What do I mean by exhausting? This car brings a lot of attention, especially with this exhaust. Let me highlight the exhaust. There are people that will try to speed by you just to race. There are people that will try to catch up to you in order to film the car. Some situations which I've been in before, they proved to be quite dodgy. Not the situations I wanted to find myself in. because of other people's stupidity. So to be honest, a lot of times I really enjoy leaving this car in the garage, taking out Golf or another car, and just being calm, driving around, blending in, not having to care about stupid people that are, you know, putting themselves, others as well as me, in danger, or even the police, because, you know, the exhaust, which sounds so good that it would be crime not to run it. Long live the full titanium exhaust. That's all I'm gonna say. But now the opposite of this, it is going to brighten up your day. I don't think I had a single drive where I was kind of feeling upset. A lot of times when I was feeling kind of, you know, not the best, this car really did make me feel so much better. Again, I think this is a really special car in so many ways. Now, let me go through the experience of social media, which is, it is going to, I guess, intertwine with why I got this car. So I wanted to get this car for a longer time, and in so many cases I've put this off to the side because I wasn't in the ideal situation. Now, if it wasn't for social media, let me drop this down a little. If it wasn't for social media, me enjoying doing social media just because it is my hobby, I like doing Instagram, I like doing YouTube videos. I mean, I've been recording YouTube videos since I was like 12. That's a different story though. But again, if it wasn't for the social media, I probably would have held back because, again, I'm not sure how many people know, but me and my brother, we are building a garage, so there are still a lot of expenses to cover. So when I was getting this car, I've done a bit of a calculated risk. Now, this would only all pay off if my calculations were correct, which in fact they were. And so I was in a very good situation looking back at it because I made everything kind of work. I made everything right. So I truly believe that in a lot of situations where it feels impossible to get what you want, you can always adjust certain things in order to make them fit your current situation. We have a very bumpy road ahead, but one quote that pushed me to getting this car even further was, if you knew you were going to make it no matter what you do, what would you have done differently? I mean, I could have kept not having the M3, or I could have, you know, bought the M3, took the risk, since, you know, it's around social media, which is something I do, I enjoy, and I want to keep doing. And so I took that risk, and that risk paid off, even though not, you know, monetarily, but it paid off in terms of me just feeling better, mental health, just me being happy. Like, the car gave me so much happiness that it would be very kind of difficult to actually fully describe it. It is actually very slippery here. But let me explain the influential power of this car. Now, this car is an icon. This car is very influential. The fact that I wanted to get this car because I wanted to get this car, which kind of aligned with this car being so influential on social media. Now, this won't apply for everyone because everybody does, I guess, similar things, but you always have to put in the work. But in my case, this car helped me out so much. Like, we went from 400 followers on Instagram to 30, almost 35,000 in a year, which is about, what, 34,000. We're at 34 and a half on YouTube. Like, over 1,500 subscribers. And again, like, this is something I enjoy doing. So it's not like I need to get somewhere. It's all just purely fun, which again makes this entire process so much more fun. Again, meeting new people. I'm highlighting this again, meeting new people. You have no idea how much I've enjoyed how much I've enjoyed meeting new people that are my friends now, which I talk to on the daily, which this year I'll be planning to visit some. We're gonna do like a bigger road trip, which could be a spoiler, which is a spoiler actually. But yeah, this car just done so much for me that it would be kind of very hard to kind of sum up in a shorter video. So now let me answer some questions. So first question is, I don't think I'm going to try to pronounce the names because the screenshot, it makes them really small and I don't want to butcher any names. But what is my favorite way to enjoy this car? And to be honest, up in the mountains, curvy roads, I'm not even talking about sliding, just throwing the car around, consistently going through the gears. I love downshift, so as long as I'm downshifting and stuff, like, it's all fun and it is what I enjoy doing. Again, you don't have to drive this car fast to enjoy. The slower you drive and the more you kind of paddle through the gears or shift through the gears, it is what makes the car so much fun. And again, like, the car is super agile, meaning that, you know, being able to go into curves and stuff, it just gives you happiness, just straight up happiness, pure happiness. Enjoy it. What car review sums this car more accurately? I mean, the car is, and if I was to sum it up in like one sentence, it's a perfect all-around car. Spacious, agile, fast, looks good. It's a great all-around car, especially for this platform with so many mods available. You can make this car into whatever you want it to be. It's a perfect platform. It's a great all-around car, super nice engine, very rowdy yet very calm if you want it to be calm. It's just a well-balanced car. Now, another question. It's an ongoing joke here in Poland. If I could put LPG on this car, which is a liquid petroleum gas, whatever, injection, it's a cheaper fuel. Now, it's bad for your engine long term, and it's an ongoing, I guess, joke in Poland, but I don't think you can do it, and I would never even dream of doing it. Now, my granddad asked me if I will do it, and I kind of stared and didn't really know what to say. But again, this is an ongoing joke in Poland. Another question is, I don't read that language and I didn't translate, but it's 2 words, so I'm not even sure if that could be a question. Preventive maintenance. Now, I've talked about everything which I've done, but in terms of preventative maintenance, throttle actuators were rebuilt, valve cover gaskets were replaced, plenty of things were done to the car, which is again like one of the, I guess, main reasons of why I got the car, because it was kept so well. So I knew that I wasn't going to put in so much money into maintenance right away. Instead, I would be able to mod the car right away. Now, what you can do is, if you can do all of the, I guess, preventive maintenance yourself, it might be a good bargain to buy a car with few issues and fix up yourself. But again, if you are getting one of those cars, I would fully scan the car, find out as much as you can about the car, because again, like, you don't want to, I guess, sink so much money into something that isn't going to make you happy and enjoy yourself. Because I feel like E92 M3 is just such a tunnel. It's just such a special platform that it would be a shame for people not to experience it the way it should be experienced. Another question, what's my favorite mod / upgrade I've done to this car? Now, I bought this car with a short shifter. I've put on the ultimate clutch pedal, a few other exterior bits, the steering wheel, the exhaust. Now, out of them all, the exhaust is so nice, but since I drive my car a lot, it would probably have to be a close call between the ultimate clutch pedal and the exhaust. Like, I've done the exhaust mod. I could probably, you know, slightly modify the exhaust even more without having to purchase a new exhaust. But the ultimate clutch pedal, it just makes, you know, your regular drive so much more comfortable, which, again, like, even the downshifts, it just makes them more pleasurable. But if I was to pick one mod, I would probably go with a short shifter if there was no short shifter on this car. It just changes up the feel of the car, which again was something which I was going for. Now, so the next question is it worth maintenance of getting a used E92 M3? I mean, to be honest, good luck getting a new E92 M3. You're only kind of stuck with used ones. I've already covered the maintenance. Again, like, it depends what car you get, how well the car was kept, how the car was driven. There are a lot of kind of things you can check, precautions to take when getting a used E92 M3, and at this point I'm gonna make a video on it because I've been getting this question so many times on the daily, and I feel like I have a bit of input I could give towards this topic. But again, like, you want to know what you're getting yourself into. You want to know everything that is wrong with the car and how much it will obviously cost to replace, any intervals that are coming up in terms of getting things replaced, just your basic things. But if it was E92 M3 specific, it is something that I would kind of need to cover myself. And now this is really it in terms of the questions. Now, before you go, I want to ask you something. What other car would you like to see on the channel in around F80 price range? Preferably, what I'm planning to do is to buy a crash and damage car, which would maybe be an F80, so we could fix up. Oh, there's a big speed bump. Let the guy go by so we can kind of scoot sideways. Like so. Because like, long term, I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking about. If we were to get something along the F80 line, drive it around, mod it for 2 years, then we would obviously sell it. And my plan, which may not turn out to be true depending on what sort of situation we'll be in, is to buy a Lamborghini Gallardo, or Gallardo, however you want to pronounce it. Now, this is a big plan, and let me highlight that I do not come from a rich family. I'm not rich, I'm just a regular person. So I think that it would be interesting in order to try my best and kind of document it. Because again, having a Lamborghini isn't something everybody can do. And I was the person that was looking to see how to get there, but I still haven't been able to find a way. So I think that it would be very interesting to document. If you're still here, you're an absolute top G. And now let me highlight this, if you've made it this far, that I am really, really, really thankful for you giving me the chance. Now, watch time is really important for me at the moment, so I'm gonna try my best to make engaging videos. So hopefully this video was of some use to you, even if you put the video on in the background, or if you actually did pay big attention to, you know, this video. Again, huge, huge, huge thanks for 2,000 subscribers, over 2,000 subscribers. Great downshifts. I hope you're having a great day. I need to get back home and start editing because I want to upload this by tomorrow. And I wish you the very best of the week. Thank you very much again, and to the next one. One more.